special year at the HOHOE Sports Stadium. On behalf of all of us here at Adisa Productions, wish everyone a very happy new year and a glorious one as that. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokoe. We are commentators for this big one here between HOHOE United and Pando Heart of Lions. It's a Volta derby, and it can't come any better than the very first Premier League game in the new year.
Good afternoon, Dakwa Jesse, and a happy new year to you as well. But what a game we have on our hands, and just look at the crowd here, just look at the atmosphere. It's electric, and just look at that. The way, or a perfect way to just kickstart another year in the Ghana Premier League. It will be nothing over 90 minutes. Definitely hostilities is set to begin.
Their very first meeting in the Premier League since the promotion of HOHOE to the Ghanaian top flight. Don't forget, they've already met this season in the FA Cup, and Pando Heart of Lions beat HOHOE United at this venue by a long goal to sail through to the round of 32 in the FA Cup. So for HOHOE, it's not just about redemption to get their season back on track, but they've got scores to settle with Heart of Lions, who are also seeking to get back to winning ways after 4 consecutive defeats in the Premier League.
Yeah, there's similar stories for both sides. For HOHOE United, they are not entirely safe this season. They are just sitting a little bit above the red zone, and they'll be hoping that they can accumulate as many points as they can, you know, to break free from the pressure coming. But for Pando Heart of Lions, they move from title contenders to title pretenders.
Heart of Lions sporting sea blue jerseys with the home side, HOHOE United, in their traditional home jerseys of red over black shorts and red stockings to match. They've been one of the sides who have kept with a very consistent starting lineup. They hardly alter with their selection, but for injuries and suspensions, you can always predict the lineup of Heart of Lions, and they paraded similar faces here in HOHOE this afternoon.
Yeah, the coach understands. He believes that consistency is just the key, you know, to getting or achieving their goals, and that's one of the things you'd always credit them with. They are always consistent with the lineup. It's the same back four, it's the same double pivot, it's the same attacking front four, and that's what they've done. Unfortunately, the results are not coming, and they'll be hoping that today, you know, this New Year game would help them turn the corner.
It's the last of the first round games, and this opening Friday will set the stage for some more thrilling fixtures to bring an end to the first half of a very competitive and an exciting Ghana Premier League. You can't take anything away from the competitiveness of this season's campaign.
Not at all. You can't take your eye off the screen for a second and you might miss a crucial action. And just like you're saying, Match Day 17 has some good fixtures, but you know, for the teams, it's always about the objective. The main objective is to pick up maximum points, regardless of where you're playing, at home or even away. You just want to pick up points because you are either trying to break away from the relegation zone or even looking at a title.
That's the HOHOE United lineup. Goalkeeper Kweku Musa, the usual suspect in post, at right back is Bangura, Dumaku and Paul Kwame in central defense. Mohamed is at left back, Ojo, Alosode, Osei and Osafo in a 4-man midfield with Usman and the new striker Lawson Bekui leading the attack. He just joined HOHOE United a few days ago and expected to add some bite to the attacking play of HOHOE United.
Yeah, very, very crucial for them. Crucial to the setup, and that 2-top Osman will be that man playing in the hole.
Usman Safiano, the captain, gets to choose where HOHOE United will be playing from. Referee Mohamed Misbao is the centre man. He's assisted by Paul Atimaka and then Joshua Kofi Agbo. This is the lineup of the away side. Lawrence Osei in post, Danso at right back, Hennessy and Arban in central defense, Enim at left back, Freeman, DOGLI, Osei and Obin in a 4-man midfield with Asante and Edson leading the attack for Bashir for guys this afternoon here in HOHOE.
That's a setup without the ball, but with the ball, you could see them, you know, just, you know, swarming the area, the defensive area of HOHOE United, and it's more like a 4-2-4 for me, but without the ball, they might really have to defend very, very deep. The likes of Obin Jr. and Co. would have to track back and help with defensive duties.
There's so much pressure on Tijani Abdurrahim to get this team back on track and back to winning ways. They've been very inconsistent under his watch this season. He's had his issues to deal with the fans, some of whom have called for his dismissal following their poor run of results in the season's Premier League.
It's always mixed reactions. He's giving them some good moments here. That win against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, obviously the biggest win they've had this season. But, you know, some are also keeping their faith in him. They know that he's definitely the man to lead them to where they want to be.
Bashir Effort has also supervised the longest losing streak of Hearts of Lions since 2023. It's not the kind of results you're expecting from an experienced gaffer like Bashir Effort. He knows that at a point they were title contenders, but their slump in form now doesn't seem like they can be up for contention anymore.
You wonder what the conversations, you know, would be about. Is it about the title or trying to finish in a respectable position? And today's game would have really had a huge impact in how they finished the first round.
Ms. Bao is ensuring that everything is right for this game to get started here at the HOHOE. Is the Bota Derby underway at the HOHOE Stadium? It's HOHOE United versus Hearts of Lions on match day 17 of the Ghana Premier League. Wherever you are, if you just joined us, it's the opening game of 2026 in Ghana's top flight. Here is Enim for Hearts of Lions. His early ball goes straight to the HOHOE United goalkeeper Kweku Musa.
We really want to see how both teams will try to go at each other. You know, definitely we might see some variations in how they've set up 4-2-3-1. You know, by Abdul Tijani Bashiru, the head coach of HOHOE United, and Safiano. I've spoken about him a couple of times. Already on 4 goals this season. They'll be counted on him.
Early cross goes in, but Lawrence Osei makes light work of that cross.
Not a bad cross earlier on. They're just showing promise at least.
Good dummy from the Hearts of Lions. Liberian import Chauncey Freeman. He actually scored the goal when Hearts of Lions beat HOHOE United in the FA Cup at this very venue, Chauncey Freeman. First goal kick.
He'll be busy, very, very busy this afternoon. You talk about Kojo Obin Jr. playing at the right-hand side of attack. Yeah, he would love to switch places sometimes, but you know he'll be coming up most of the time against Bangura. That should be a huge matchup.
Ishmael Ado. Here is Asante. Switches to Obin Jr. Looks for the space to drive Obin Jr. And Musa is up for it.
Yeah, he loves to drift centrally a bit, and you know, not long ago we saw him at the right-hand side of attack. Now he's drifting a bit central. That's how dangerous he can be, a bit versatile.
Here is Lawson Bekwi. Great defensive play from the Lions captain Arban. Lawrence Osei wasting time, nearly played himself into trouble. Good header down by Enim. Chauncey Freeman just giving it away for a throw.
And they need to keep their focus. They just need to keep their focus intact, because the moment you snap, you could be punished. This is a huge game for them, and you know it will be crucial if they concede inside the first 5 minutes here. Coming back from a goal that will be very, very difficult for them. They would really need to keep their concentration levels, you know, very, very high.
HOHOE United have a free kick. Osei recently received a call-up to the Black Galaxies for that international friendly against the Bafana before the start of the AFCON. He's regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the Ghana Premier League over the last 3 seasons, Lawrence Osei. Osafu to take the free kick for HOHOE. He goes low. what seemed to have been rehearsed from the training grounds didn't go well.
Yeah, unfortunately, execution just didn't pan out as planned, but it was smart thinking there, trying to just reverse that ball from where it came from. But unfortunately, it was read timely by the defense of Heart of Lions.
Michael Edson enjoying his time at Heart of Lions after parting ways with former champion Samatex. He's regained his confidence under Bashir Hereford, but it must be said that in the last 6 games, it's been a total no-show from every single player of this setup. Here is Safian Usman, the captain of the side. Odro loses possession. Now Bin Jr. takes over for Heart of Lions. Alosode regains possession and finds Adomakong.
They need to be closing in. It looks like there's so much space between the attack and the midfield of Heart of Lions, and that's why we could see Obin Jr. trying to sprint his way all the way into the half of HOHOE United. They really need to transition the ball quicker, and they need to play their attackers into the game.
Here is Paul Kwame. Osafu goes down from the challenge of Enim. Referee Misbah whistles as a free kick to the home side.
Yeah, a bit of a nudge there. Enim just knew that the pace wouldn't help him. You know, coming up against a draw would always be difficult.
Here is Osafu for HOHOE United. Alosode looking for Lawson Bekwi, but Ebenezer Arban steps up, captain leading by example. One of the most consistent centre-backs in the Ghana Premier League in the last 2 seasons. One time gained the call-up to the senior national team, was also part of that team that played against the Bafana, Ebenezer Arban.
He's had lots of experience so far in the last couple of seasons. He's been very consistent as well.
Edson with a delivery, but it goes way up. Chancellor Freeman thought it was a better option, but he decided to go all by himself.
Yeah, I spoke about the space. He had time, he had space. He could have picked up Chancellor Freeman, decided to go all alone, checked onto his left foot. Just look at that. No, but that was good positioning by the defense of HOHOE United, not allowing him to just hit a pass through or anything like that.
There's a Volta derby. Heart of Lions up against HOHOE United at the HOHOE Stadium. A game that has attracted impressive numbers because it's a derby. HOHOE and Kwando are neighbors, just towns apart. Football brings the people together here.
Yeah,
at the stadium. But for the 2 teams, redemption and revival on their minds. It's not been good for them in the last couple of games.
It's not. That's not. And it's historic as well. It's the first time they actually played, in the top flight. Yeah, the last time they met was in the FA Cup, another competition. But, this time it's all to play for. You look at HOHOE United and how they fared so far. It's been topsy-turvy for them. They've had some good wins here. That win against Kotoko, a draw against Mediama. But then losing to Aegean and then also Gold Stars was just the lowest they could go, and now they are trying to redeem themselves. They are trying to salvage something because, that relegation, fight is still on. It's just not totally out for them, and that's why they need to pick up maximum points in a crucial game like this.
Enim. Ball came over Sante. Ishmael Ado can't get to Obin Jr. Safian Usman. Al Qasim's delivery brought down. Here is H.A. DOGLI. Now Freeman shows desire, tries to pick out seed of Asante, but Musa gets the ball away. No red shirt as Enim takes control for Urban.
Yeah, we hardly see the high press from either side. They're trying to be cautious. You can see HOHOE United trying to keep it, with that mid press, not committing too many men forward without the ball. They know that that front four of Heart of Lions can always be dangerous. And for Heart of Lions as well, they've kept it a bit, the tempo a bit low. They are not trying to force anything. But then we've not really seen that double pivot of Ishmael Ado and then also H.A. DOGLI yet in the game.
DOGLI, Freeman, Efson, DOGLI. Good play from Lions, but Asante has handed possession away with a very poor pass. Safiano Usman up against Ishmael Ado. Tries to pick out Losim Bekwe. Safian, Al Qasim, Alosode. Paul Kwame, Adomako,
It's been slow. It's been slow. Just look at that.
It's 10 minutes at the HOHOE Stadium. It's HOHOE United 0, Hearts of Lions 0.
You're not really seeing the pattern of play.
Hennessy surges forward for Hearts of Lions. He wants his men to go forward, but no one is going. He finds Asante. Ado. Obin Jr. Hearts of Lions trying to create spaces and find their way, but HOHOE United defend their lines really well. Here is Osafo. Alosode.
It's been lethargic. It's just short of whatever you expected or anticipated, and you'll be hoping that these fans are itching to get going. They are itching to get at the edges of their seats. It's not really been what you would have wanted, but it's been cautious as well from both coaches. We all know, 3 maximum points is at stake, but for a historic game as this, you'll be hoping that you see some high flying tackles, some very, very explosive plays down the wings, but you're just hoping that a lot would change. Slow tempo, cautious from both teams, but then there's still a lot more to play for.
Hearts of Lions have gone 6 games without a win, 2 draws, 4 defeats, and is the longest winless run in the GPL this season. And December particularly was very difficult for them because they went the entire month of December without winning a single game, enduring 4 defeats in the month of December. And in the process, they dropped to the 8th position on 23 points, 17 goals scored, and 12 conceded. Not a good story for Bashir Force Chargers. And this is the longest winless run for Hearts of Lions, dating back to 2023.
Yeah, you don't win the league with this. These are not the numbers that, can convincingly win you the title. Last season, they came very close. This season, we've seen them a couple of times. They started brightly, went to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, got a draw there, came to Accra to vote, picked up a point. They went some crucial grounds. They managed to get points there, but you just don't know what hit them. You just don't know what happened. They've been consistent with the selections as well, but sometimes it's all about the mentality. And you have 2 title-winning players in Obin Jr. and Efson, and that's why they were brought in, to help, build and elevate the mentality of this team. I think there's quite some pressure on Bashir Hayfor, and that's where he needs to turn things around. It's 2026. Perhaps it's a new year, and the resolution will be that we turn things around and start winning games.
Obin Junior to Aban. Here is Asante. He shoots from the distance, and it goes wide for a goal kick.
Not a back try over there by Sido Asante. He's been working, he's been connecting the defense as well, or the midfield and the attack. Just look at that from a distance. And you always need to credit the defense of HOHOE United. They've been stationary, they're not moving, and we've hardly seen Heart of Lions have any touches in the box of HOHOE United. They've been kept at bay, but then they are still trying to find ways.
Usman, Alosode, Al Qasim. Osafo heads it down, but Hennessy has moved upfield and he's lost possession now. HOHOE United, miscommunication between those two midfielders, and Obin Jr. will take advantage. Here is Kojo Obin Jr. Good defensive play from HOHOE United. They needed to get it right. The likes of Paul Kwame, Adomako, they had to.
Yeah, they nearly paid the price for losing the ball in a crucial area, but good recovery by the defense of HOHOE United, and could see Obin Jr. storming down the line, just hoping that he would have had a clean touch, but that was good recovery there. But Adomako just stuck a leg in there, making it difficult for him to control that ball.
Diving header from Adomako. It's a corner for Heart of Lions. Good decision from the assistant referee.
He had it right, but with no Heart of Lions to be a side that love to exploit the wing areas, the wide areas, but we've not really seen that today. We've seen Obin Jr. Drift a bit narrow, a bit more central.
Corner to be taken by Enim. He goes for a short corner. He finds Danso. Here is Enim. Swings the ball in. That was close from Ebenezer Aban, the captain. Nearly the opening goal for Heart of Lions. So close.
The closest we've seen any of these two sides come to scoring, and just look at that. Men in the box, you could have about 5 Heart of Lions players, but he decides, to just find Aban, who was totally unmarked over there. That's poor marking by the defense. Just look at that. Just had to direct that one with ease, and it was just unfortunate. He just clipped the upright. Should have been the first goal.
Aban denied by the bar. Efson, Asante, Ado tries to find Freeman. Ball is cleared by Al Qasim. Here is Odro. He finds Usman. Here is the HOHOE captain. He's inspired them many games this season. They'll be looking forward to his inspiration to bring them back to winning ways this afternoon. Usman, the captain. Alosode is a foul against Heart of Lions.
Good decision. And Usman is at the heart of everything good that happens to HOHOE United this afternoon. He's really working hard in the hole, right behind Bikoe. It got so well to hold on, but just look at that trip from Sido Asante. And they are struggling to keep possession now, HOHOE United. They are really relying on the fast breaks, which is really helping them. But then they lack numbers up front.
Free kick taken. Good save by Lawrence Osei. Great delivery by Alosode.
It would have been a sumptuous goal if that had gone in. That was a great hit. And an equally good save by Lawrence Osei.
Osafu's corner. Chance for HOHOE United, and Lawrence Osei again pulling off this great save to deny HOHOE United.
was a big chance, great chance. A good ball into the box, eludes everyone. A flick at the far post, then Drew manages to get something on it. And that was Bekwe at the far side, unmarked.
United with a corner. Corner swung in. Bekwe went in and nearly the opening goal. That was some goal line clearance by Enim for Hearts of Lions. Still not out of total danger. Here is Paul Kwame, but Efson's foot was way up. Referee whistles. It will be interesting to see what decision it takes. He might just see it as a low one.
Exactly, but that was the ball again, causing commotion in the box. Not totally cleared. Miscommunication there. Lawrence will say, doesn't tell his defenders he's going for it. No one knows, and he's frustrated. But a return ball again. Just look at that.
So seed of Asante and Enim.
Just look at that, blocking his path. And it was Asante blocking his path over there. He was furious after clearing that one, but then good ball again, going direct. Another ball into a dangerous area. The header back into the box, and Seedorf clears again. But look at this. This is a foul.
Difficult call.
Difficult call. Difficult.
Asante. Chance to Freeman on 20 minutes. It's HOHOE United 0, Hearts of Lions 0 in the Bota Derby here at the HOHOE Stadium.
Premium chances, big chances. Not long ago we saw Alban's header and another goal line clearance there, but I think the tempo gradually is rising.
HOHOE United pushing. He bought the foul and he really got it. Hearts of Lions will pay the price for that foul on Odro.
And that was Yautan, so just falling for that bait over there. He shouldn't have gone in. That ball would have definitely rolled out, but it was the smartness of Odro who had to just take a little touch and just, bait him, called for that free kick, was calling for that foul, and, Danso had to foul him.
Free kick to the home side, HOHOE United. Aloso there to take. He's had one already parried by Lawrence Osei. This time he goes low. Odro tries to flick it. Another throw-in for the home side. The defensive responsibilities Sid has taken is really coming good for Hearts of Lions.
Yeah, they've been under pressure in the last 3-4 minutes, and he has to join the defense.
Aloso there's throw. Headed down by Arban. He's furious. Referee did not whistle in favor of HOHOE United. Player stays down. It is Odro. Referee Misbao overlooked, and he's helped him up. No foul here.
Yeah, you're thinking any foul would have been a penalty, and I doubt there was enough in it for that to have been a penalty. Yeah, that was contact, but not enough to warrant.
HOHOE United and 5. Hearts of Lions. There's not been an overly aggressive contest between these two.
Not at all. You were thinking, 90 minutes should be hostile. It should give you the high-flying tackles, the long range shots, the dribbles, the flicks, everything. But yeah, the tempo is building up. In as much as we would want to have fun, these two teams are quite cautious, especially for HOHOE United playing at home.
Kwejobin Jr. for Hearts of Lions. Back for DOGLI. DOGLI still hangs on. That's a foul against Enim. Referee he's reached his pocket. It will be a yellow card, the first of the afternoon. Flash to Hearts of Lions left back.
Yeah, definitely.
Enim too aggressive, too physical from Enim on Osafo.
Yeah, you could see he shoved him down. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't going for the ball. totally. But that was a mistake from DOGLI, HOHOE in the central area, which could have caused them, had Osafo broken away with that ball, it would have been a fast break, and there was nothing they would have done to stop him, and Enim just had to take one for the team.
Enim will be playing with extra caution with some 70 minutes to go. He knows any more mistake might just end him up in the dressing room for an early shower.
Yeah, most definitely. And you're asking, what's TJ doing about that? Are they trying to exploit the left back who is now in the books of the referee? Perhaps maybe there's a time you need to feed Osafo a couple of more balls, create those 1v1 situations.
That's clumsy.
Yeah, very
clumsy from the HOHOE United winger Osafo. A while ago he was at the receiving end, and he turns out to be the aggressor this time.
Yeah, well, he luckily walks away without going into the books of the referee. And that's what it could be at some point. Within the intervals, you could see both teams trying to get a go at each other, and sometimes the tempo drops a bit. But for HOHOE United, you'd be expecting them to up the tempo a bit. They're the home side, and we've seen them lose narrowly here on these grounds. They lost to Gold Stars, they lost to Idiana, and if you're not able to get an early goal, it just creates so much pressure for you in the second half, and if you don't take it, you concede a goal, and you could be dropping points.
25 minutes. Game has been paused for cooling break in the Volta derby between HOHOE United Football Club and Bando Hearts of Lions. HOHOE United are enjoying a very difficult spell. In their last 10 games, HOHOE United have won just 2 of their last 10 games, 3 draws and 5 defeats. In those 5, they've suffered 3 consecutive defeats, and this has left them on the 16th position on the league log, a situation that this man would want to really get it sorted out as we kickstart the second half of the league next week. He might want to end the first round on a high, but as we speak, it's not looking good for the new boys.
It's terrible, and he needed that cooling break actually to send out some information to the team. Maybe they need to regroup, reset a couple of things, and try and break down this Heart of Lions defense again. They've come close a couple of times, but you look at the records, last 10 games, 5 defeats, 3 draws, and just 2 wins. And to make it worse for them, they're losing here at a place where they call a fortress. Last season where they were playing in the Division 1, they barely lost any home games, and now they are in the top flight, and teams come here and pick up points, and walk away with even maximum points here, and it doesn't look good for them. If you want to keep your place, in the top flight, then one of the things you need to do, and one of the things that every team does, is make your home a fortress. Make it very, very difficult for any team that visits you, and that's what they'll be hoping at doing this year, perhaps.
Enim Seda. Alosade. Flicked by Captain Usman, and DOGLI has found Chauncey Freeman, who has gone missing in the game in the last couple of minutes. Freeman. Good touch from Chauncey Freeman. Flag is up. Offside against Michael Efson. Obin Jr. was trying to make the run, but Efson had already been flagged offside.
Yeah, that was lazy play by Efson, not trying to get onside. That was a good ball. He had space, but unfortunately, he just found himself in the red zone, and it was a good call. No qualms about that. No complaints at all. And they just need to find him off, and he needs to make the right runs behind the defense.
2 teams on low confidence, judging from the results in recent games, going at each other here. Fairly balanced contest so far.
Yeah, so far, so good. Perhaps maybe for both sides. if only a draw will be okay for them, especially you look at HOHOE United languishing in a very, very precarious, position now. It doesn't look good for them. They really need to turn things around. It begins with games like this, the derby games. You need to win it. You need to give it, everything. I've just not been impressed with the attitude so far. Yeah, you're playing at home. You have the fans behind you. You need to push a little bit more. You need to try and create something.
Enim Seda, Usman. It's a handball against Osafo. Claims it was his chest, but it was obvious he handled the ball.
No grip, no traction at all. Both teams struggling, especially in the middle of the pitch. And that you could see coming off his hand there, trying to protest, but I think the referee had a clear view.
Ruben Hennessy. Lovely dink to Enim. Enim sends in a cross. Obin Jr. is lurking. Here is Asante, and it's flown over the bar for a goal kick.
We just saw Enim bump forward for the first time here, and just look at that. It was a good cross into the box. We expected at least a couple of, Heart of Lions players to attack that. But that ricochet fall into Asante, and that volley, that's not good enough.
Asante looking for chance of Freeman. Here is Freeman for Heart of Lions. And he missed, but was he impeded? The question is, was he impeded or not?
Yes, he was. He was. Just look at that. But, I just don't know. But he shouldn't have gone for that. You're trying to win yourself a penalty. He shouldn't have hit that ball. He struck it, and I think that was where the referee just scored a shot. He thought that wasn't going to be a penalty, but he was impeded, clearly.
Fair challenge by Al Qasim on 30 minutes. It's HOHOE United 0, Heart of Lions 0 in the Volta derby.
With double pivots missing so far, we've not really seen, the likes of us and also Alonso today. Not too much of that. You look at Heart of Lions also parading Ishmael Ado and then also Dogli, and these two teams are built on the strength, of these players, especially in midfield. Giving cover to the defense and then also trying to link the attackers. But we've not really seen anything like that, especially for HOHOE United. We've not seen that link up between the midfield and even the number 10 in Osman Safian.
Seed of Asante, Efsen, Obin Jr. beaten to it by Bangura. Losode goes to Adomako. Musa is brought into the picture. It's a foul against Danso for shoving down Odro.
Yeah, and the protest will continue there. It was an aerial challenge, and Hennessy, perhaps making contact there, but that was a call. The bit of an extended arm there from Hennessy, and just got punished for that.
Free kick taken in the straight to Lawrence Osei. Heart of Lions might be thinking, how did they lose their grip on the top spot to further slip down the league log? That's the earlier foul on HA Dogli.
Yeah,
that was a stamp.
Needless from Safian, and that should attract a booking. I think, the referee will be lenient not to flash his card there. He had no intentions of winning the ball. He just aimed for the foot of HA Dogli, and he just needs to be careful. He's already been, subjected to some very, very, fierce tackles already, HA Dogli, and he's the man that gets them going. He gets them going. If they want to play that free-flowing football they want to play, then he's the man. He's the playmaker for them. And Ishmaelado will always tidy up. Well, we've not really seen him today, and that's why we've not really seen them in their element. You talk about Heart of Lions.
Ebenezer Albans balling. Obin Jr. heads it down. Ball is cleared by Adomako. There was an earlier miscommunication between himself and Paul Kwame. But he's done well to get that ball away. Solomon Adomako.
And that would have been an error on his part. Miscommunication again.
Danso. Usman takes possession, but he gives it back to the Lions. Hennessy. Dogli. Seed of Asante. Trezwan looking for Enim, but too much on that ball for Enim to pick it up.
He's playing as a number 10 today, and you know a lot of it is expected of him. But that ball, yeah, you could see the intentions. It was clear, but you know the weight on the ball, it was a bit overhit for me, and I think there was no way Enim was going to get at the end of that one. But you talk about Seedorf, yeah, he slotted in playing right in front of HOHOE and then also Ishmaelado. But we've not really seen the best, those defense splitting passes, you know, those mazy runs. We've not really seen it from him. Perhaps he is a bit rusty, you know, just being used as a sub in most of the games they've played this season.
HOHOE United struggling at home against Hearts of Lions. 10 minutes away from the break. No goals. Ado's ball in. Here is Safiano Usman. That ball went too early. Let's see what Lawson Beku is able to do, but he just can't get on that one.
Again, the hold-up play, the two-top of HOHOE United trying to combine, and no assistance from anyone at all, and it was Safiano. Just look at that. Again, between two players, just hitting that one into the channels for Bekoe to attack, at least maybe hold up play and invite his teammate into it, but that wasn't a good pass.
DOGLI. Here is Danso to DOGLI. Good ball to Ado. Ishmael Ado tries to get to Efsen. Efsen wanted it on his feet.
That's the kind of striker he is. Just play the ball to feet, space.
Hennessy's delivery in, but nobody is arriving to connect for Hearts of Lions. As Kweku Musa hurriedly finds Bangura. And Hennessy's racing to fill in that space is left behind. But DOGLI makes it easier for him by returning position. I've been grappling to figure out where exactly Chauncey Freeman is playing from and his role in this afternoon's game for Hearts of Lions.
Yeah, as an interpositional play, that's why they always play with a four-top. And, you know, they have attackers who can play in every position up front, the four positions behind the striker as a number 9 or even left or right wing. And that's what we are seeing now. Obin Jr. would love to drift in because sometimes he can play as a number 9 or even a number 10. And you talk about Chauncey Freeman, sometimes he's allowed to roam freely because he's the man, you know, who attacks those half spaces up front. And today we've not really seen him get on the ball often, but he's still a dangerous man with or without the ball.
Hennessy with a long one looking for Epson. Flag is up. Offside against Michael Epson.
Yeah, second time in the game he's been caught offside. And he needs to time his runs now, Epson. It's not helping the team. That's a run from, you know, a deep area, but you know the flag had gone up maybe a fraction too into the red zone. He just needs to time his runs now.
Bekui, Osafo, Osafo still hangs on, swings in across, collected by Lawrence Osei. Odro was trying to pounce on it.
He thought that ball was loose. Thought he would have got something on it at least.
Ado to Chauncey Freeman. Freeman switches to Asante, and Adomako fouled by the high boot of Seed of Asante. The timely clearance ensured that Seedorf had no option.
And not at all. But it was a lovely ball from Chauncey Freeman from the left-hand side, but that first touch was a bit poor for me. Control with the chest, but just moved further away from him, and he was just trying to bring that one down. But good reading, good movement as well by Adomako to just try and clear that one as well. Just inviting the foul. He managed to win that one, and he's been so great in defense for them this afternoon. With all the experience he's had, he's really showing it.
But I'm sure he's not gonna be happy with that unwanted record of being the first player to be red carded in the Premier League in that opening day fixture against Hearts of Oak at the Accra Stadium.
Yeah, not at all. But then the good thing was they left Accra with a point, and that was where they started believing that the league will be good for us.
40 minutes at the HOHOE Stadium. HOHOE United 0, Hearts of Lions 0.
Yeah, thinking how this game hasn't seen a goal still baffles me. We've seen some good chances, Aban. We've seen a couple as well from HOHOE United, but I think these two teams would have to up the tempo, and you're still thinking what the halftime pep talk would be. Perhaps maybe a tweak in formation, throw in some more attacking players. We might see something more different, a bit more direct in the second half.
Osei Jr., good control in midfield to find Usman. That through ball is meant for Losim Bekwe, but Lawrence Osei commanding goalkeeping and intelligent defending by Aban. That's clever from the captain.
Yeah, he sees him. He sees the run of Bekwe, and he just manages to stand in his way. There was no way Bekwe was going to get around Aban. He did that so well. And the communication this time between himself and the goalkeeper was just there. And that's what you need sometimes. You just need, these bulky, lanky defenders.
So the home side have got 3 shots on target against 1 for the away side. HOHOE United trying to hit the back of the net before the break to unsettle the visitors, who have found coming down from a goal to win games very difficult in the last 6 matches of the campaign.
Yeah, it's not been good, especially if they concede first. Heart of Lions, then they are surely going down, and that's what they would want to avoid here. They're hoping to avoid conceding first.
Asante, Hennessy, just trying to get to a Neem again, but good reading of the game by Osafo. Here is Usman, the captain for HOHOE United, up against Hennessy. One support, and he finds support from Osafo. Usman. The home side been dominated by Hearts of Lions on 55 in terms of possession, but they have the more shots on target than the visitors.
Yeah, we spoke about conceding possession to Heart of Lions. That that's why they went with a 4-4-2 direct. You have Osman just pairing Bekwe, and they do the hold up play, so they just sit a bit deeper and try and hit them on the break. And that's what we've seen from them all afternoon.
Enim to HOHOE. Ebenezer Arban. Asante. Enim. Here is Freeman. Ebenezer Arban. Here is Efson. He turns around, but it's a good block from Adomako. Decision had already gone against Efson. He was caught pulling the jersey of Adomako. It's a good decision. It's 45 minutes here at the HOHOE Stadium. HOHOE United, 0. Hearts of Lions, 0. Here is Enim. That's the confirmation of additional time. 3 minutes of stoppage time here in HOHOE. Aban, Obin Jr. charges forward, goes with his left foot, and he rises above the goalpost for a goal kick. The moment he got the ball and ran into space, he had one thing on his mind, to drive forward, and he went over the bar. Kojo Obin Jr. Aban's clearance. We're halfway through stoppage time. Here is Haruna Al-Qasim looking for Bekwi, but Lions defend well. DOGLI hands possession to Usman. Here is the Lions captain. Swings in across, but nobody's arriving for the home side as Danso gets it away, but only as far as Odro, who doesn't control it well, is Obin Jr. Now Efson. Good defending from Adomako. Douglas ball in. Efson traps it down, but it falls to Osafo. Alosade. Good control by Hennessy to find HOHOE. It's halftime here at the HOHOE Stadium. It's ended Goalless after 45 minutes and 3 minutes of stoppage time. The Volta Derby fails to produce any goals. Not so many goal scoring opportunities, but it's been a competitive fixture between these two after 45 minutes. Half time, HOHOE United 0, Hearts of Lions 0.